a Wolverine mask?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass. Well, probably because you spray painted it. I would have never known. Was Wolverine usually yellow? He yellow? Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow? Okay, so I'm not stupid. I thought I was stupid. I'm not stupid. I take it back. Hit him! I'm silly. I'm Alana J, and this is another episode of Act Up with Alana J, sons and daughters. Wherever you are tuned in, please don't forget to subscribe, share, tell a friend. We love you. Mean it. And I'm here at Bravery Studios in Garfield, New Jersey. You already know New Jersey's #1 podcasting recording studio. Guys, I took a nap, so I'm feeling extra awake and loopy. I'm feeling extra lucid. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling extra lucid. Anyway, I'm so excited for today's guest, y'all. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. If it wasn't for today's guest, I don't know if I would be here right now. Like, not alive. I'd be alive, but I don't know if I'd be here on the mic talking to you, at you, really, because you can't respond. He is a friend of mine from college. Scarlet, nice, what's goody, Rutgers, rah, rah, rah. He is a rapper, an artist, and a whole bunch of other stuff. A father, he a husband. Ladies and gentlemen, there's none of those here.
No.
Q, a.k.a. LoganX, is in the building.
Yo. Hello.
Hi.
This is the last thing anybody would expect to see. Like
after all
as
that?
soon as it pans, it's like, yo, what the fuck
Yeah,
is going on?
This is also I should have addressed that. This is my first masked guest as well. So y'all don't know what's going on. Neither do I. This is gonna be fun. I'm so excited. So Logan already knows what's about to happen. You ready, Logan? You ready for some palabras?
Let's just go for it.
Let's just go for it.
Yep.
Let's just go for it. All right, we got our minute on the clock. First word or thought in 3, 2, 1. Candidate.
Kamala.
Lake.
Tahoe.
Chocolate.
Cake.
Ooh. Marriage.
Complicated.
Ooh. Meat.
Oh, delicious.
Police.
Nah.
Department.
Of education.
Singer.
Alana.
Patience.
I got a lot of it.
Pie.
Pecan. Chocolate pecan.
Ooh. Depression.
Fight it every day.
When I'm depressed, I eat pie. Courage.
Necessary.
Apple.
Pie.
Callback. Resource.
The studio.
Measurement.
Centimeters.
Classroom.
Chalkboard.
Boom. We ended with some chalk. Chalk it up to the chalk.
Cannot wake up the morning.
I love it.
Look at that.
I love it.
Look at that. The YouTube was listening. The YouTube was listening to us. R.I.P. chalkboards. R.I.P. chalkboards. They're all smart now. And I don't know how I feel about that.
It's all right. It's less messy, and
It is.
when you think about like allergies and asthma and things of that nature.
Allergies. And I did not think about the nature at all when it came to the chalk.
I only think about it because I have a child.
You have a
know what I mean?
child.
So he's in first grade. So it's
Okay, stop. You're answering questions I could be asking in the rapid fire interview. Okay, are we ready? We have another minute. Okay.
Let's go.
What's your child's name?
No, I'm not sharing.
How old is your child?
He's in first grade.
What is your favorite thing to do with your child?
We play video games.
What's your favorite thing to do with your wife?
Go to the movies, honestly.
Oh, I love that. What's your anniversary?
Our anniversary?
Yeah.
Why
What's
am
your
I blanking on our
anniversary?
anniversary?
Uh-oh.
What is going on?
'Cause you're a man.
Oh, May the 4th. My bad.
May the
Star Wars
4th
Day.
be with you.
Star
You
Wars
can't
Day.
forget that. You
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
forget that. Are you a Star Wars fan?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, of course. When did you start rapping?
At 11 and a half.
That's specific as fuck.
It is.
What's your favorite job you ever had?
Ooh. Goodfellow Media.
What's your favorite interview you ever did with an artist?
Brother Ali.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like maybe the sweetest person ever, like, doing an interview. Like, rappers are usually very, you know, too cool. Like,
Too cool.
They're cool all the time. And he was just really like, it felt like you were like chilling with like a father figure. Like everything was just about being very open, very loving, and very like nurturing while still giving you information.
That's beautiful.
So Brother Ali was really cool.
That's
Like,
beautiful. Did you? Okay, wait. So, all right, we gotta backtrack. Now we gotta backtrack
Yeah,
because people need to know. People need to know. So, Q, aka LoganX, and I met at Rutgers. Q, aka LoganX, was like, dude, you were like my hero at Rutgers.
Stop.
No,
man.
I'm
Don't
serious.
do that to me.
I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass because I did not know that there was a radio station at Rutgers. Like you were the person that I associated with the core, with 90.3 the core at Rutgers. Q had a very successful, if not probably the most successful show in the history of that radio station. Called No Shade. I don't know what they're doing now. Called Goodfella Radio. You want to talk? Tell us.
Well,
take us down. Take us down that journey.
So as I sit now, like most of my energy is going into music now.
Right.
That's what I do now more than anything. But back then, I was still doing music. Like like I said, I've been rapping since I was 11 and a half.
11.5.
And I was in a group, and we were called Goodfellas. That was our name of our group.
Oh, your rap group was Goodfellas.
Yeah, and in high school.
Oh.
So
why Goodfellas?
I don't even know.
Because y'all thought y'all was gangsters?
I really didn't. No, we weren't. We were a bunch of geeks, nerds even back then. But
okay, so it could have been ironic. It could have been ironic. Sometimes that's fun.
Well, our producer back then, he, we used to watch mob movies a lot. We watch a lot of movies, but we watch mob movies a lot, and we just always liked Goodfellas. Like Goodfellas is my favorite movie. So
okay, well that makes sense then.
So we were just kind of like, yeah, like we just rolled with it just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
And never really thought, it was going to become anything bigger than what it was. And then eventually, when I got to college, when I was in high school, I was doing a lot of video production and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, I did a lot of video production. Like that was what
VHS? Like what were you using back then?
Carrying like handheld cameras and taking things out off tape to like digital. Like
you hear that, children?
It was
off the tape.
Man, it was
not off the airdrop, papa. Off the tape. Carajo.
It was a bit of a nightmare, but I was really dedicated.
Yeah.
I was really, really dedicated to it. But when I got to college, our group kind of just came together. But we've always been kind of outside of the box and unorthodox, just sonically and what we were rapping about and everything. So I never really saw what we were doing as something that was very commercially viable.
Okay.
I didn't think so at the time. The music.
Okay.
So I was like, yo, you know what I'm gonna do when I get to college? I'm gonna just do a radio show. I'm gonna get into college radio. So I have an outlet where I could play my own music.
Yeah.
That was the original idea.
Okay.
And
smart.
Our first
resourceful.
Our first slot was like terrible. It was
like 2 a.m. on a Tuesday?
No, 4 to 6 Saturday morning.
Oh my God.
But it was like we were just so excited that they would let us be in a radio station.
Of course.
Unsupervised
As
just
college
making
kids.
radio shows. And when they do the training, you do like 2 weeks of training. Like
Yeah.
you're not doing it, and they're not giving you like super extensive training.
Right.
They're just kind of just trusting you to go out there and not mess it up.
Exactly. And not get any FCC violations.
And I got in trouble plenty of times.
I got in trouble.
A lot. I got in trouble a lot. But
The N-word dropped on a song. They called me immediately. Did you just play a song with the N-word? Whoops. They were like, you need to get off the air now.
we had
Put on the automation. I was like, fuck.
what was horrible for us is that we had guests that
We're cursing?
up and coming rappers
Yeah.
that were not media trained. So a lot of times they were slipping up, And
Was it mostly with profanity or with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all the time. Like it wasn't the music because I would edit the music myself. So every single because we eventually got a Tuesday night slot.
Mm-hmm.
Because Tuesday night became like hip hop night at Rutgers at 90.3.
Yeah.
Because the show that I shadowed to learn was a Tuesday night hip hop show. So
Okay.
the show was called the Download Hip Hop Show. They were 10 to 12. And
Who was that? Whose show?
Their names Bone and No Name. Like they were like alumni that had been doing the show there already for like 10 years by the time I was there.
Wow.
So I learned from them. I learned everything about how to do my own show from them. They were so ahead of everybody else. They had like, because one of them was an actual DJ. So they had like promo cuts and cool, crazy things. So I kept shadowing them even after I didn't have to shadow them anymore.
Okay.
So I spent the whole semester just shadowing them on the show to the point that I became a part of their show. So I would go there every Tuesday night while I still had that 4 a.m. slot.
Yeah. On Saturday.
When the next semester hit, whoever had the show after them left, and one of the GMs in the station came up to me and said, "Hey, we're gonna just give you the slot." Like I didn't apply for it, nothing. They were like, "We're gonna just give you the slot since you already have your show, and we're gonna try to make Tuesday night hip hop night."
Okay.
And it was like, "Yeah, I'm in."
Love
But at
that.
first, it was just me. It was just me.
So you were the only good fella.
It was me, and I would bring my boy Mark, who I'd bring him.
He's also your producer, no?
He's my producer now.
Okay.
Yeah. But I would bring Mark with me.
Shout out to Mark.
Olin is the producer name, but my boy Mark. And I would drive to Hudson County.
From New Brunswick.
From New Brunswick and bring him.
Every show.
Tuesday. So what I would do is I would make sure I didn't have classes Wednesday mornings, and I would sleep in Hudson County and then come back on Wednesday in the morning to Rutgers. I did that for like 12 years.
Wow.
But
You did the show for 12 years there?
yeah,
From what year to what year?
we were out of there. When were we out of there? Actually, the show continued in another facet after we left there, but it was a long time because I had already graduated and I was still doing the show while I was working at SiriusXM. I know I'm jumping all over the place.
No, it's fine. I love that.
But we kept doing the show for several years. 12 might be too much. I think it was about 8 actually.
Okay. So hold on. Let me take a turn. Let me take a turn back.
You know why I'm thinking 12? Because I just moved back from Virginia and we were out there almost 12 years. So that
Got you.
number stuck in my head.
Still, and that was something that I noticed too about the core was that there were alumni, like there were people that graduated and were still doing their thing there. So I was like, oh, this is. I didn't know you could do that. I thought that was even cooler to me.
There was like 2 stations at Rutgers.
Right.
So
there was the core. What was the other one?
WS, whatever the heck. I don't know.
I don't remember.
But you
Team core all day.
You couldn't just get on the other one. You know what
it wasn't as easy as the core?
No, it wasn't as easy as the core. And the core, they just let you in because the station that we were in had a partnership with
Piscataway High School. RLCW VPH Piscataway.
So in Piscataway, New Jersey, they had a partnership. So it was a community radio station. It wasn't just Rutgers radio station.
Right.
It was for that whole community of Piscataway and New Brunswick.
Right. Did that have anything to do with the fact that Rutgers was in 2 cities, technically? Did that have something to do with it?
I think so.
Rutgers is big as hell. Technically, it's in 3 cities. Technically in 4. 4 cities.
It's really
New Brunswick, Piscataway. That makes up the New Brunswick campus. And then we got Newark and we got Camden.
And
Damn.
Camden. Yeah.
I wonder if they have radio stations, Camden and Newark.
I'm sure they do.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure Camden does. I don't know about Newark because it's so like crowded over there. And I think Newark's mostly like the business school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. But let me get back. So when that slot opened up, I started bringing him. And then I used to work at Whole Foods in Edgewater, New Jersey.
Okay.
When I was in high school, like my last 2 years of high school.
Wow, I didn't even realize it's been there that long.
And it's been there forever. And everybody from my high school at some point worked at that Whole Foods. So after my freshman year, I went back home obviously for the summer. So I went back over there to get a job for the summer, and Justin, who was my co-host on the show and, basically helped me.
Justin Duran, right?
Justin Duran. So Justin was working there at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Justin and I's relationship, when it came to when we used to see each other in high school, was like, we meet each other in the hallway, talk about hip hop for like an hour, be late to class, and then I'll see you again in a few weeks.
Oh, so y'all went to high school together?
Yeah, we went to high school together, but we didn't hang out.
Got
We
you.
were both hip hop heads.
Got you.
So whenever we would meet each other, it would be a long conversation about hip hop, and then we'd go our separate ways. Because we played on the freshman basketball team together, so that's how we met each other.
Got you.
But after that, like, we were living different lives, but we would always just vibe off hip hop.
Right.
So when I saw he was working there, I was learning from the show that I, on the Download Hip Hop Show, that was the name of the show before me. And I was like, I need co-hosts. Like, I need people to help me build this. Because at the time, back then, and you probably wouldn't guessed it because of like all the interviews and stuff that I'd done, I had a horrible stutter on air.
Really?
I couldn't get my thoughts together. I was really running. My brain was running and my mouth couldn't keep up.
Gotcha.
So
you
I
need
had
to
to
meditate and do some diction. So do some diction exercises.
It was just really bad.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I just had a really terrible stutter at the time on air.
How'd you overcome that? Just doing?
Repetition, being on air constantly and getting co-hosts. So I had Mark, but I knew how kind of, I don't want to say heated, but intense our conversations would get, me and Justin. And I wanted him to take the lead, and I wanted to produce the show, because that's what I do now. I, for a living, for the 9 to 5 side, like, I produce podcasts.
Yes, you do.
And
he also used to work for Sirius XM.
And I was a producer there. So I like the background work, which is weird because, like, I'm doing rap and now I'm front facing.
Which, once again, not to cut you off, but I'm gonna, again, my hero, because I got an internship at Sirius XM. They didn't hire my ass, all right? I was hella jealous. I was like, cute. Why don't they love me? Anyway, obviously you had like a fuck ton more experience than I did, which you deserve to be there way more than I did, my entitled ass.
But
still.
That place is, it's a little overhyped anyway. It's okay.
It's okay.
Like, as far as a work environment goes.
Yeah.
But
most places are.
yeah. So,
that's why when people ask me about Maury, I'm like, oh, I'm going to get some flashbacks. I'm going to need, you're going to need to send me an invoice for therapy after this conversation. Anyway, carry on. So
I brought Justin one day, but I didn't tell him my plans to have him as a co-host or anything like that.
What did you think was going to happen?
No, he just came to hang out, like, because that's what I was doing the whole summer. I would bring just any of my friends up to the radio station, especially friends that rap, and I would just have them hang out, and we would always do like a freestyle cipher at the end of the show.
You right, you was I feel like you was always there.
Yeah,
like, even when y'all wasn't on air, like, y'all was always in there.
So in the summer, I didn't take a break. In the summer, you could still do your radio show.
Right.
So I kept going in the summer. I never stopped. Like,
right.
Once I found it, I fell in love with it right away.
Absolutely.
My own personal music wasn't really, in my opinion, where I wanted it to be.
To be playing it on your show?
Yeah, to be playing it on my show. So I really wasn't playing it. but I was playing a lot of underground artists, and I was playing a lot of local artists that I knew. So I brought Justin, and I was like, I know if he comes just once,
he's gonna love it.
He's never gonna stop.
Yeah.
And he came that one show. And I remember he was giving me crap because of what I was playing. Because
what, the type of music?
Yeah, because I was playing a lot. I was playing very underground stuff at the time because I was so influenced by what I was around at the time.
Yeah.
Where, you know, over time things got more balanced. But I was like playing super underground stuff.
He wanted you to play more commercial.
Just not that deep.
Gotcha.
In the crates. And I laughed about it because our conversation did lean more in what was up and coming and commercialized. Not so much commercial because the show was about up and coming. Everything was about up and coming. We didn't care if you ended up commercial or underground. We just wanted whoever was next.
Gotcha.
That's what it was always about.
Facts.
So when I brought him that one time, that's it. Like, it was there every week. And really, that's just, everything just grew from there. We started finding the rest of the cast. And, but in the beginning, it was, me and Mark, Justin. And then it expanded from there. And that's how, Rich and Kimmy and AR and everybody else who, for those who know about Goodfellow Media during the blog era, like that's how it came together.
The blog era. So it went from the radio show, you had the radio show, then the blog, right? Because I feel like the blog was, that was the blog, that was like the beginning of the blog boom. And I felt like y'all blog was hella successful.
We were early to the party.
Yeah.
We were just too early.
We've talked, how many times have we talked about this? I've talked about this with other people that I, from back in the day that I did the radio station at the core with, like, we say the same thing. Like, basically we were podcasting before podcasting. I remember you guys podcasting and streaming. Yeah. You were streaming the show live.
Yeah, we came up with our own like player for just audio streaming, and then once like Ustream happened, because the Ustream was kind of one of the first
I was doing Ustream.
Then we started bringing our laptops, and we were streaming. So we were streaming, and we were really, really early.
Yeah,
like super, super early. Too early, so early that we just didn't we didn't know what we had. It fell apart before we knew how to monetize it.
Yeah.
Like I'd say if we were like a year later, right, we would have been able to know what to do.
Yeah.
And it probably would still be going on.
Yeah.
But
I have the same sentiment about a former organization I was in. I'm like, we should never have fucking stopped. But listen, everything happens for a reason. But
my passion also lies in what I'm doing now.
In music.
Music has always been the thing. And it took it took me leaving New Jersey to be able to find everything about who I am as a man and find who I was as an artist.
Why do you think that?
When I was here, when we were doing Goodfellow Media, I was very much in the mix of what the industry was. So my life for a while was like just industry.
Yeah, going to all the events, going to all the listening parties, going to all the concerts.
So you think about how...
Because you were posting like exclusives on the blog too.
Yeah, so what you were saying about how it turned from just the radio show to the blog, like I had come up with an idea. I was like, hey, you know what? Like, because you remember those flip cams?
The flip cams.
They were these little cameras. They were like this big, and they would go up to like 1080p HD, and you would just click it and you can record, right? So this is because our phones at that time didn't have
cameras.
That level. The cameras weren't that powerful.
Right.
So we had bought one of those, and I was like, yo, I could just go around using this and start interviewing rappers.
Right.
Outside of the radio station.
On sites.
So after I did like 2 of them with like local artists. And we were like, okay, this works. And then we started reaching out to big artists.
Like whom? Like whom? Name drop. Drop them. Drop them like it's hot.
We were ripping and running. Like, at first we brought people to the studio, right? We had Immortal Technique come through. That was a crazy night. like because the radio station never had anybody like him on their airwaves before.
Mm-hmm.
So that helped me get out of a lot of the trouble I was in
Nice.
for prior stuff, because they were like,
Clean slate.
Like, yeah, a lot of people. We had Joel Ortiz come, and you know, this was before Slaughterhouse, like when he did the Brick Bodega Chronicles, and he was just a big like underground, like we were just excited about a Latino
I love Joel.
rapper at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then the biggest night for us in the beginning was Joe Budden, and this is before podcast Joe Budden.
Yeah.
This was when Joe Budden was just Jersey's hero, the underground.
Let me just make this statement loud and clear.
And
Jersey's here.
And I'll never forget.
I got excited.
I'll never forget when he came.
Yeah.
Because when he showed up to the show, I remember Justin going up to him and saying, "Hey Joe, how long do we got you?" And in typical like arrogant asshole Joe attitude. And I say that with all love, because I'll tell you another story about Joe that happened with me.
Yeah.
And he looked at us and he was like, "I'll be here till I get bored."
Oh my God, I remember you telling me this. Yeah.
And we interviewed him, and he ended up staying for the whole first hour of the show, to the point where his manager was like, "All right, you got to go now."
Wow.
Because he was going to come for like 10, 15 minutes.
You buttered Budden up.
Yeah, so he ended up enjoying his time at the interview. And that's really what skyrocketed us from there. From there, we were just like, all right, we're unashamed to go around and speak to anybody.
Yeah.
You know, as a matter of fact, so there was an artist, I won't say their name because it's embarrassing.
Because it's embarrassing?
There's embarrassing for the artist.
Oh, okay.
So I won't say their name.
Whose name is embarrassing?
I don't want to diss them.
Yeah, we're not.
But there was an artist who was having their album listening party. Okay. And in backstage, Joe Budden's there because he did a feature for him.
Okay.
And there was another artist there, and Joe was having a back and forth with them. They were arguing about some hip hop shit.
Okay.
And I was quiet, and you know, everybody was listening, but a lot of people from hometown were there at that show, so they were really like groupied up. They were really excited to see it.
Wait, from whose hometown?
From Hudson County.
Oh, okay.
So it was in New York. It was in one of the small venues in New York. I can't remember, but whatever. We're backstage.
Yeah.
And Joe Budden is there. They're having this hip hop rap argument or whatever, and they start telling Joe, "Yo, you got to go on stage, you know, to do a verse." And he was like, "Honestly, bro, I don't even remember when I recorded this verse. Like, I don't even really care like that."
Joe said this.
Joe said that. And he started walking. And this is the funny thing, like, the payoff's funny because he said that just to be a dick, because he went on stage and he remembered the whole verse, performed it, nailed it, consummate professional about how he handled it. But backstage, right before he went on stage, he had the nerve to be like, dog, I don't even know this. Like, I don't even know this dude like that. I don't even remember when I did this verse. So right before I was like, yo, bro, you're an asshole. Like, and I said it out loud.
In front of people. You called him out. And
everybody looked at me like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Right? And he looked at me, and it was the best thing ever. He looked at me, he was like, I've been called that before. And just went on stage and then did the verse. And it was one of the funniest moments ever. But like, yeah, Joe's always been cool. He gets a bad rap. Like, you know, he's always been cool. But that, you know, if you're saying other artists, I interviewed Redman.
J. Cole too, no?
I interviewed J. Cole twice.
Twice?
Yeah, I interviewed J. Cole twice. You know, it was funny.
This was like in the beginning. This was like when he was first. Like, I remember so distinctly. Because he came to Rutgers Fest. And that's when y'all interviewed him the first time or the second time?
The first time at Rutgers Fest.
Okay. Rutgers Fest, RIP, right? Yeah. I don't think Rutgers Fest exists anymore because I think there was a shooting.
Oh, really?
I think I was there. I was there on campus for the last Rutgers Fest, and there was a shooting, and I think they stopped it after that.
Wow.
But Rutgers Fest was lit as hell. I did my first crowd surfing at Rutgers Fest when NERD came.
Yeah, I remember when they came.
And somebody tried to take my BlackBerry out of my pocket 3 times. And I was like, if you try to touch me one more time, I'll punch you in the face. I was so drunk. Anyway, carry on.
But yeah.
J. Cole.
So we interviewed him at Rutgers Fest backstage. That was like a strictly audio interview. We had like pictures. I think I interviewed Yellow Wolf at Rutgers Fest.
I think you did too.
And we were supposed to interview Pitbull, but that got messed up.
Pitbull was at Rutgers Fest?
The same year Yellow Wolf was at Rutgers Fest.
Cállate.
So the same year Yellow Wolf was at Rutgers Fest.
¿Cuándo?
Look at this weird ass like ticket.
I don't have a fucking recollection of
Yellow
Mr.
Wolf.
305.
Pitbull was at Rutgers Fest. It was one of those Rutgers Fest where mad people from New York came.
Yeah.
And it was like
that would be the issue. It was all these outside mother effers.
Yeah, people were pissed. Like it was the whole night was insane at that time.
I mean, look, New Brunswick is a little hood. You know what I mean? New Brunswick hood. Most college towns are quite hood. You know, I don't know why they like to
property values.
This is a certified hood classic.
That makes sense. That makes sense though. But anyway, I mean, really quickly, like I saw a dude who wasn't a student punched my friend in the face for not because she said no to dancing with him.
Come on.
At a Rutgers party
wild.
on Halloween. I think that's why I don't really like Halloween. I'm just putting this together. Shout out to Halloween coming up. Anyway, it was wild. It was wild. Like we had to leave the party, shut the party down. I had to take her to the hospital. It was wild. Rutgers was a wild place.
So you're not dressing up this year for Halloween?
We'll see. We'll see. I usually don't.
Who's your favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero?
Yeah.
I mean, I loved Tobey Maguire growing up.
Okay.
And I saw him on the street one day in his Spider-Man era, literally crouched by a fire hydrant in like a Spider-Man-esque position.
That's awesome.
And for that reason, I feel like Spider-Man is my favorite superhero.
There you go, man. You could be Spider-Woman. You can be Spider-Woman.
I want to be a Spider-Woman.
You can do that.
Oh, you don't want to get caught up in this web, okay?
Yeah, I'm Halloween all the time. So there's that.
You are. Okay, wait. Are we done with the Rutgers Fest? Should we go into you
Whatever
stuff?
you want to do. Whatever you want to do.
Because I feel like
open. I mean, I can keep giving you the backstory, and we can bring it all around.
It's gonna come around.
Yeah.
It's gonna come around. But now that we talked about Halloween and it being Halloween all the time for you,
yeah,
the choice of the mask, has that always been a thing? Talk about that. Talk about your relationship with your mask.
The mask is something that I always wanted but couldn't execute.
According to whom?
According to myself.
Okay.
Everything.
That's fair. That's fair.
I base everything off my own standards of what I want things to be.
Okay. I like that. We love some standards.
LoganX is a balancing act for the two. I know for a lot of people who are like deep hip hop heads, they'll see the mask and be like, MF Doom. And I'll tell you, yes, inspiration, 100%. Am I doing the same exact thing? Absolutely not. There's only one Doom, and I'm not here to play the replacer of MF Doom or trying to do anything like that. But if it wasn't for MF Doom, I wouldn't have found the mask. Because the mask for me is freedom. Like, it's funny. A lot of people say, take off your mask to show you who you really are. I put on the mask and I become who I really am. That's how I feel when I have the mask as an artist.
That's deep. I like that.
So when we were in college, 2000.
No, don't be giving dates. They don't need to know.
I got you. 2000 something. It's all right because they can look up.
Need to know.
They can look up the album. So, Adult Swim, on Cartoon Network, Adult Swim was like really popular.
Yeah.
Like the heyday of Adult Swim was when we were in college.
What was on it then? Robot Chicken and shit?
Robot Chicken, 12-ounce Mouse, Perfect Care Forever, C-Lab 2021, like the whole thing. Aqua Teen Hunger Force, the original Aqua Teen Hunger Force stuff. And the cool thing was Adult Swim was doing a lot of like mixture between music and their programming. And MF Doom and Danger Mouse, producer Danger Mouse, did an album. A concept album for Adult Swim. There was even a song called Aqua Teen Hunger Force. The whole album had Adult Swim samples
Steve clearly likes Adult Swim because he's dropping hella bombs right now.
So
Shout out to Steve in the booth. Shout out to Steve in the booth. Aqua Teen Hunger Force, go.
So they had an album called The Mouse and the Mask.
Okay.
MF Doom and Danger Mouse. And it's one of my it's in my top 5 favorite albums of all time.
Okay.
Because of the intersectionality between the shows and the content and all that stuff and then the rapping.
Yeah.
And you have MF Doom who's, he's Dr. Doom. That's that's basically it. Like
Yeah.
And when I heard that, that was something I always wanted to do myself. I always wanted to bring in my love of comic books, my love of film, my love of wrestling recently because I just got back into it.
Okay.
So my love of all the geekdoms, all the pop culture stuff.
The geekdoms.
I always wanted to find a way to mesh the music with that.
Yeah.
And I never really found a way for myself to do it organically.
Mm-hmm.
That album was the blueprint. Like when I heard that album, it unlocked everything I wanted to be as an artist.
Wow.
It was like, that's how you do it. Like, that's how you do it. Now I know how to do it.
Yeah.
So over time, over the years, kind of in my own like incubation chamber of training myself to get the music where I want to be, my music always had comic book references, always had movie, television references, sports references, because I love basketball, so basketball references, just anything that I really, really was passionate about from a culture standpoint.
Yeah.
I tried to bridge the gap in my music between that and my own personal life and my own personal spirituality. So I try to just make a gumbo of it all.
Gumbo.
So
Artistic gumbo.
So I want to make sure that the music always has messaging because lyrics really matter to me.
Yeah.
But I don't want to sound or come off overbearing or like I'm trying to preach to you. When I was younger, I was a little preachy. I was a little self-righteous.
Yeah, but didn't you also start rapping in church?
Yeah.
So that tracks.
So
You were being
I guess
influenced.
I'll give you the background of that. So I started rapping at 11 and a half in church because when my grandmother, when I was younger, used to move churches a lot. Like she would find a reason to be upset.
Damn, I didn't know that was a thing, church hopping.
Because my grandmother liked to be involved in church. So she wanted to, she didn't want to just go there on Sunday and that's it.
Yeah.
She wanted to go to church and be in part of a community and actually do things and help people and stuff like that. So whenever she felt like they would try to box her out of helping, she's like, I'm out of here. Like I need to go somewhere where I could be of service, So we go to this church. It's still the church I go to now. It's the church I got married, the Love of Jesus Family Church in West New York.
Shout out.
So I go there when I'm 11 and a half. And the craziest thing ever happened. Because when I was a kid, rapping was different, It's no disrespect, but just the skill set of lyricism and everything was just a bit more important.
The words mattered more.
It was more important than it is now.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. Today is a lot more feelings and vibes and energy. And that's great too.
And the beat and the
But that's great too.
And the sample.
That has just as much value, But back then it was a lot about lyricism and stuff. So a lot of my favorite rappers growing up were really great lyricists.
Like who? Who is your favorite?
So I
you
loved
say your
Common
favorite?
as a kid. I loved Method Man. I mean the whole Wu-Tang, but Method Man was my favorite rapper as a kid. I always loved Jay-Z. I think Jay-Z's the best ever because I think he's the most ambidextrous. Like he can do everything. He can do everything from the most commercial record to the most raw gutter record. So that I don't think anybody's better at that.
You hear that, y'all?
So
Over.
So, Jay-Z and the whole Bad Boy era, I love the whole, I know that's a crazy thing to say now because of everything that's going on with Diddy, but
yeah,
I was a kid. I didn't know what the hell he was doing.
I mean,
you know what I mean? But back in the day, the Locks and Mace and Biggie and all that, I was really into that too. So,
yeah.
And Gangstar, I can't, because my relationship with my producer is Gangstar.
Okay.
Guru and Premier, LoganX, Olin. I only
Gotcha.
work with one producer. That's how we keep it. you
Yeah.
know?
I met Guru.
So, how you feel? How was he?
He was awesome. He was sweet. Like this was when I was writing for The Source, and I wound up. I was with Guru. I was with Rhapsody. I was there interviewing Rhapsody, and I was interviewing Rhapsody for The Source and Ninth Wonder.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I was there with them.
In the beginning, he was taking her everywhere.
And DJ Premier. I think we were at DJ Premier Studio. I think that's where we were.
So Primo used to have a show at Sirius XM.
God, I forgot I did some cool shit.
Yeah, man, it's easy to forget. Primo used to have I think he probably still has a show on Sirius XM. I used to be there every week.
Wow.
Every week. It was like
when you were working at Sirius XM.
It was like my favorite thing ever. Like I would work literally a whole day and still stay at work just to be in the studio to watch DJ Premier cut live.
Dude, I would have stayed there all day too if they wanted me, if they would have me.
That was one of my favorite things to do. But so circle back to the church. I get there and I see the craziest thing. They stop and they're going, oh, here comes the youth pastor at the time. Here comes Pastor JJ and 2 other kids, and they're going to do a song for y'all. And these 2 other kids are my age, and they start rapping.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, what is going on right now? And they're rapping about God, and it's like all coherent. And I was like,
and it's a vibe.
And I'm like, how, man? Like, how? Because in my mind, I thought somebody had to teach you. Like when I was a kid, I thought I thought somebody had to like.
So relatable.
There's no rapping school, but like in my mind, it was like somebody got to take you to rap school. Somebody's got to sit down and teach you how to rap. Like I never thought in my mind, because I loved hip hop at that time already. Like I was already deep in it, and at that time I was like, yo, the thought of even trying to do it wasn't something that was reality to me.
Right.
It wasn't even something that was possible. So I never even thought to attempt to do so.
Right.
So when I saw these kids my age doing it, and the youth pastor who's my mentor now, like he's basically like my big brother. Like I saw them do this, I was like, what is like how is this happening? So
you were mind blown.
So
flabbergasted.
So we end up going to like kids' church, Sunday school. And I didn't even let him get started. I was like, how do you do that? How do they do that? Where do I have to go? Like, where do I have to go? So
what do I have to do?
I want to learn how to do this. Where do I have to go? And he was like, he looked at me like, what?
Yeah.
He was looking at me like I was crazy. Like, what are you even talking about, kid?
Yeah.
Like, you could just, you could just rap.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And he's like, dude, come up with a bar right now. Like, just think of something that rhymes that you want to say right now. And I don't remember what it was, but I came up with one immediately.
Yeah.
And he was like, boom, you did it. Now do that 16 times. He's like, just do that 16 times.
Yeah.
And put it all together. And from that moment forward, I've never stopped.
From that moment forward, dropping 16s on 16s on 16s.
I just didn't stop. We were part of a group for a little while. Like, which was weird when I was a kid. Like you go to 28th Street in New York and Canal and all that, they used to have like all the bootleg like Gucci suits and all that type of shit.
Oh, on the street, like selling it on the street.
Yeah, but they also had these little buildings like warehouses where you would go up there.
Oh, like,
and it would be like all the bootleg freaking jerseys.
And then the cops come and raid them.
Yeah. The last time I went was when the cop raided it while we were there. And that shit was the craziest shit ever. But
I've never seen that.
I used to go. It was nuts.
I would be too scared.
It was nuts.
I'm a punk.
The cool thing is like the NYPD decided to like be cool that day. Like they just noticed we were kids and we didn't have to pay for our stuff. They were kind of just like, yeah, take your bag, get out of here.
Oh, so, that's nice. They let you steal.
Yeah, basically.
They were like,
take that, get out of here. And, then they closed down everything that was there. And then after that, we never went again. But we used to go, me and my boys, we used to go over there like for that every summer. Like that was school shopping,
Yeah.
And One time back when cats was like wearing Gucci suits and whatever, I bought like a fake Gucci suit, and I wear this thing. I'm rapping. I'm an idiot. So we used to go around different churches, like different shows. We would go everywhere just to like rap, practice, and do shows. And a lot of the times I was writing the hooks for the songs. I wasn't even writing verses. I was just writing hooks. I was just really good at writing hooks. So they would let me write the hooks for the song. And also my verses were a little too risque for like church. Like,
okay, that's fair.
I was already out the door kind of with how I wrote. Like because of how my mind
Not
worked.
Jesus, no Christ approved
but
lyrics.
But it is still very much present in my lyrics today. It's just mixed with the bad stuff too, because I'm very honest.
Yeah.
I'm honest about it. I'm honest when I'm happy with God. I'm honest when I'm not happy with God. And I put all of that in the music. I don't shy away from the discomfort. So back then I was just writing hooks, and we go to I believe in Kearney. I think it was in Kearney, the youth detention center to rap for these kids. And my dumb ass decides to wear a gold Gucci suit.
Oh my God.
To the freaking penitentiary to rap at these kids.
Oh my God.
And they're looking at me like lunch me, like like you're an asshole. Why would you come here like this? And afterwards,
why exactly did you feel like an asshole?
Like they were kind of looking like it's like, yo, you're shining on us right now. Like we're here. You know what I'm saying? We're here. We can't leave.
You can't you can't get no knockoff Gucci suit.
Yeah,
they can't do that. But that's their fault.
I know, but
y'all did that to yourselves.
But I understand their sentiment. You know what I mean? I understand. It's not so much of like feeling bad about it. It's more like just not having the common sense myself to understand like they're not going to take kindly to it.
Well, what should you have worn? What would you have worn?
Maybe what I'm wearing right now.
Okay, that's fair.
So yeah, like we go and then we end up playing basketball, and I'm getting fouled so fucking hard throughout all those fucking games because it's just like.
You were playing basketball in the Gucci suit with the kids in the juvenile detention center?
Because I didn't give a shit. Like music and basketball, those were always like my loves. So it's like when I was in high school, any opportunity to play ball, if you told me I could play ball, I'm gonna go play ball.
Yeah.
I was very like tone deaf.
Did you play ball before or after you rapped?
I played before.
Okay.
Because I played in like grammar school.
No, I meant while you were at the detention center.
Oh, I played ball after I rapped.
Okay.
So that's why it was like, you're an asshole. We coming for you.
Got it.
And I was like, and that was like a funny, like just early days moment.
You took it out on the crowd. They took it out on the court. They took it out on you on the court,
and I totally understood why.
But listen, I gotta defend young you because you was there rapping for the Lord. You were there to shine for the Lord. So if you're gonna shine on them, at least it was for the Lord. You were just trying to bring the light of Christ.
I was a kid, man.
You know what's funny? That I just said the light of Christ. I think I've told you this before. I used to dance in high school. I danced in a Christian rap, hip hop. Christian rap.
Never told me that. That's crazy.
How do I even say this? A Christian hip hop dance group.
Yeah,
that's what it was. And one of the songs was "The Light of Christ is a blazing one. He fight." I don't remember it.
That's amazing.
And I've tried to look it up. I can't. And then there was a Diddy remix. It was the J, the E, the S, the U, the S, the C, the H, the IRST. It's Jesus. Yeah, it was something like that.
So you see that right there?
Mm-hmm.
That's what kind of got me out of like rapping in church, because there were so many people that used to do songs like that, like take songs and try to flip them into like
into
Christian
the Lord.
Songs. And I always felt like it was the corniest thing in the world. I hated it. I hated it. I hate it. I still hate it to this day.
I thought it was corny too, but I was still shaking my ass to it. I'd be telling people I used to twerk for the Lord in high school. They're like, "You twerked for the Lord? Don't say that." I mean, we were popping our asses. What that was the assignment. That was the assignment.
You were dancing, man.
Right.
What can you do?
Exactly.
But after a while, the group that I was in church kind of fizzled out.
Yeah.
Like everybody was getting older. We were becoming teenagers, and you know, everybody just wasn't coming anymore. And a friend of my friend, who was my producer at the time back then, before he was my producer, he used to take like instrumentals and mash them up with like different acapellas and stuff like that, just to make mixes for fun. So once I was outside of the church, I was like, I don't have any. I need like help. Like I need beats.
Right, you need beats. You need beats.
And I wasn't super savvy enough at the time to like find instrumentals like that.
Yeah.
And
well, they weren't as easy to find back then.
So I would go
at
up,
all.
So I would go up to him like, yo man, I need some instrumentals. And that's when he was just like, what do you mean? I'm like, oh, I rap. Yeah. He was like, what? You know, because I never told anybody.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't make a thing about it. I just did it.
Right. Because it was for you.
Yeah. And I was, for a while, I was like 11, 12, 13, like basically on tour basically every weekend. Because I'd go to church and me and my mentor would go somewhere and go rap. I did that for like 3 years, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I didn't tell nobody about it. But then after a while, when everything dissipated, I was like, yo, I'm on my own and I don't know what to do, you know? And then I started going, and that's really kind of how everything really started building, because we had our group of friends. Like I met Mark. So Mark, before he was a producer, he used to rap. Okay,
I think you told me this.
And me and Mark met at a party, and my producer at the time was like, yo, Q, freestyle. Every time, every party, anytime I was at a party, he would try to make me freestyle at a party. And I hated doing it.
But you did it.
But I did it every time because it was good practice.
Yeah.
So usually I would be the only one, or the only one who was decent at it. It's funny because I'm terrible at freestyling now. But back then I was like really, really good.
Well, you're probably doing it more. Well, you did it at every party, so you were getting reps.
We were doing that, and then I meet Mark at that party, and he's like, yeah, I rap too. And then he started freestyling, but he was keeping up. As a matter of fact, he wasn't keeping up. He was better.
Okay.
And I was like, oh,
props.
Shit. I was like, oh, shit. Like, that's what's up. And we both linked, because it's like, yo, you're a geek nerd like me. Like, we're both like nerdy dudes, but we love raw hip hop.
Yeah.
So that's it. Like, from that day forward, like, we were all inseparable. Like,
you were a tribe.
His friend group and my friend group, we all kind of connected together. And that was it. That was what we were doing. And then when I got to like my sophomore year, that's when I got introduced to like video production stuff. So I was like, yo, we're gonna do videos and all that, you know, all the grandiose, like, crazy dreaming you do, like when you're super young and you think you're gonna take everything over.
And all the things that now you have a tool in your pocket to do with.
Computer in your pocket is
crazy.
Nuts.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
So that's really like how we came together. And that's what led me into Goodfella, when then after kind of Goodfella fell apart, you know, and I left Jersey, you know, I was able to take all those years and I started finding myself. And once I found myself as an artist, then I started going outside and I started hitting like open mics like crazy. Like 2018 specifically is when I really just started ramping things up. My original producer and I ended up having a bit of a fallout. And after that fallout, Mark decided like, yo, I don't want to rap anymore. I actually want to produce. So in my mind, I was like, all right, man, it's going to probably like take you about a year to like get
the skills.
To get good.
Yeah, at least. Nah, he was already nasty.
Like his third beat was insane.
Wow.
And we were like, and this is like end of the pandemic time.
Okay. Oh, okay. So this isn't that long ago.
Yeah. Because it felt like a rebrand for me.
Yeah.
Like a start over. You know, starting over, and really, because at that time is when I felt like I finally realized what I wanted LoganX to be fully.
And what is that?
And that's when I was thinking of the concept of the mask, to bring it full circle. But I was looking online for different masks. Yeah. And I couldn't find the one that had the look. You know, and it just took a long time to find the one that looked right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just wasn't doing the mask for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't doing visuals or anything like that until I found that was like my thing. But Mark, he just got so good so fast. But our problem was in the past that we would do always start, stop. We'd start a project and we wouldn't finish it.
Yeah. A lot of unfinished business.
So our thing was like, I have a project, it's on streaming, I call it Xavier's Worst Student.
What's it called?
Xavier's Worst Student.
Xavier's Worst Student. This is
LoganX.
Xavier's
Worst student.
LoganX. Xavier's Worst Student. This is out now. People can find it.
It's on. You can find it on everywhere you stream stuff. All right, so
check it out.
So we made that album for us.
Mm-hmm.
The whole point of the album had nothing to do with promotion or outside or anything.
Mm-hmm.
We made that project because we were like, hey, we need to finish something.
Yeah.
Start to finish.
Yeah.
And put it out for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that we can actually follow through.
Yeah, and do it.
And once we finish that, the rest has kind of been history. I haven't stopped.
Bueno.
And then when I eventually found my masks, they were like regular Wolverine masks, and I bought like 6 of them, spray painted all of them different colors. Because that's just how I want to present it.
So this is spray painted?
Yeah.
Ah.
So they're all spray painted different colors.
Oh, that's a Wolverine mask?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I'm a dumbass. Well, probably because you spray painted it. I would have never known. Was Wolverine usually yellow? He yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Okay, so I'm not stupid. I thought I was stupid. I'm not stupid. I take it back.
But that's what happened. We made, you know, I finally found the mask that I needed that looked the way I wanted to. And at the beginning of this year, my wife was like, all right, now it's time. Like, let's start pushing. And she was like, let's just go outside and let's just shoot something.
Mm-hmm.
So we shot a video for a song called Milestone, which is like, it's on my, it's also streaming everywhere. It's on all my social media. All my social media is at LoganX Raps.
LoganX
Raps. Spelled normal. LoganX Raps. All together.
Beautiful.
So all my social media is that. So all the visuals that we've done so far this year are there. We've done about 4 or 5 videos.
Okay.
All in this year. Just guerrilla style. Going out there and just filming.
I'm very familiar with that.
But it's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been fun. It's been liberating. And it's also been the biggest joy to me is to present it the way I've always wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I waited and waited a long time to do it. I know a lot of people tell people, artists, yo, man, don't hold on to that shit. Just put it out. I don't believe in that.
Mm.
I actually believe take your time and find a strategy.
Mm.
You should find a strategy. This is precious to you. You took so much time to make this. You put your heart and soul into it. Why wouldn't you put your heart and soul into how you present it? Why wouldn't you take the time and think about how you're strategically going to present it to people?
Mm-hmm.
You put so much time into making it. Why would you want it to be here now and be gone tomorrow? You know, it's not easy. It's all going to be trial and error. But I don't believe in oh, you did it, man, just throw it out there. Because the things you see in going viral, a lot of it is a myth. A lot of those artists are already signed and they had a strategy to make that song go viral.
Gotcha.
There are some songs that do organically go viral, but not as many as you think.
Yeah.
A lot of these people that you see that blow up and I'm talking about who make legit music, not like the meme, like funny stuff that blows up because it's silly. I'm talking about like artists whose songs blow up. A lot of it is the system and strategy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just throwing it out there. So I don't believe anybody who makes any art really should just throw it out there.
Okay.
No, I think you should try to be as strategic as you can when you're doing so, because why wouldn't you want to maximize the thing that you're putting all your blood, sweat, and tears into?
That's a fact. That's a whole bar. That's a whole bar. And in fact, we got to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And usually I ask, my last 2 questions are, How do you suggest that somebody could act up? What is something that somebody could do to improve today? But I feel like what you just said kind of answers that question, at least for artists. Like, have a strategy, you know?
It's important. And it's okay to fail. I'm not saying it's not okay to fail. And I'm not saying it's not okay to...
You have to fail. That's part of the process.
And I'm also not saying I'm against spontaneity, where you feel like you feel it in your bones that you just want to let it loose.
Yeah.
That's fine. But I don't think everything should be like that.
Right. I hear that. I mean, I'm the same way. I'm like, sometimes, especially in this digital world that we're living in, like I have so much unfinished business in my phone, on my computer, in a plethora of notebooks at home. So, you know, I think there are certain things that you definitely need to have that strategy for.
Mm-hmm.
But as an artist, to an extent, we do have to be comfortable with just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks,
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, not being concerned with the result, you know? So there's definitely a balance. But for the stuff that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into, totally agree. Like, have a strategy. Strategize. All right. Last question before we get out of here. If you were writing your memoir right now, what would you name this chapter of your life?
Pain and resilience.
Oh.
Because that's it. That's what I'm living. That's what I'm living. This year's been incredibly challenging. I've gone through a lot of hell this year. But for
Sorry to hear that.
For whatever reason, artistically, it's been the most rewarding year. So it's like, dealing with this pain, but at the same time, things in the artistic space are finally moving in the direction that I want them to.
Well, I'm very happy to hear that, and I feel... One, I can very much relate to that. This year has been... I will do a whole podcast just about how this fucking year has been. Because I don't be talking about what I'm going through on the show, you know? So I can totally relate. And just, it's crazy because as an artist, the beautiful thing is that we get the opportunity to transmute that into something else.
Yeah.
And that's how it loses power over us.
Yep.
So I'm super grateful that something good has come from everything that you've been enduring. And keep enduring and keep going, LoganX. All right?
At LoganX Raps on everything.
At LoganX Raps
On everything.
What was the name of the project? Xavier's
Worst Student. That's on streaming everywhere, and we got a bunch of videos for all of the songs we've released. So like, just go on my socials, and you'll see everything we've done so far. Like, everything's there visual, and all those songs that you see visually, they are also on streaming wherever you stream. So at LoganX Raps.
Go to the social. Run it up. Follow me. Act up with AJ at AlanaJ.tv. Subscribe. Tell your friends. Love you. Besitos. Peace.